The future is always changing and evolving. We will be discussing four main scenarios for the future of public transport in New South Wales until 2037. There are four main uncertainties of the future. Overpopulation is the first, and Sydney is expected to reach 9.9 million people by 2036, leading to overcrowding. Second is technology, which needs to be integrated into society or old systems will become outdated. This correlates with exploitation of resources and using technology to create transport run on renewable energy. Lastly, government funding is needed for any type of restoration to take place and improve the public transport system. INSPECT is the macro environment of our future, representing natural environment, social, political, economic, cultural, and technology. But how do all these factors work together to impact the future? Our four scenarios represent high and low levels of technology and funding, fast track to the future, to infinity and beyond, traffic jam, and row your boat.
Scenario 1. Fast track to the future. Sydney trains. The city of Sydney is moving rapidly towards becoming some of the world's megacities and is at risk of facing high population density problems. The lack of transport infrastructure in other suburban and rural areas due to its size and low population may have also fostered the growth of large urban areas. The current Sydney train network is mainly operated in urban areas and is ineffectively rowed by passengers. According to the New South Wales Bureau of Transport Statistics, less than 10% of the passengers travelled by train, whereas half of the other travelled by their own vehicle. The farther they live, the less public transport they use. This is caused by the imperfection and centralisation of the transport infrastructure. By 2037, more regional areas will be transformed into business districts. The current Sydney CBD will be decentralised. The Sydney CBD will be expanded to its neighbour suburbs, and the Western Sydney will be running a brand new airport supplementing the Kingsford Smith International Airport. Government funding rises upon to $50 billion to develop a wider train network. By the time Parramatta, Wollongong, and Newcastle will become the new business districts. Due to the population movement towards these new business districts, the current train network has to be expanded. By the time new loop lines, which goes around the business districts, will be operated. The image on the right-hand side is an example of a loop line, a specific train system which leaves the main line and then rejoins it later, continuing in the same direction. Meantime, new rapid transit system will be running every 10 minutes. Trains operated in loop lines and its surrounding network will be running every 5 minutes. Frequent express train will be operated between these four business districts.
Next up is To Infinity and Beyond, which details our high technology, low spending scenario. Why, you ask? Because our plans for light rail will involve state-of-the-art vehicles with low long-term maintenance costs. At present in 2017, Sydney's light rail network is currently constructed in Sydney CBD, beginning at Central Station, ending in the inner west at Dulwich Hill. In these areas, there are several modes of public transport already available: trains, buses, and light rail, which is more than enough to service this population. With our new construction proposals, we are aiming to reach areas of the population in the northern beaches and eastern suburbs who do not have convenient access to rail services and limited availability of bus services. Our line from Central to the northern beaches will run through Milsons Point, Cremorne and Manly, ending at DY, and our eastern suburbs line will begin at Bondi Junction Station and follow a route through Waverley, Randwick and Maroubra, with the end of the line at La Perouse. We are aiming to complete our proposals for these projects by 2021 and have construction underway by the year 2024. During this time, we are also planning to upgrade the existing light rail network with our new and innovative technologies so that all areas have access to our high-quality facilities. By 2030, we are anticipating completion of the Northern and Eastern Line constructions, which will aid the mobility of Sydney's ever-expanding population, prevent congestion on our roads, and lower the city's pollution levels and carbon footprint. Following completion, our future plans consist of regular track work and maintenance, which will have low long-term costs, as our highly efficient vehicles will be built to last through regular monitoring and durable materials. Overall, To Infinity and Beyond will see Sydney's public transport system move from a slower today to a faster tomorrow.
Traffic jam, the Draft Metropolitan Strategy for Sydney to 2031 report highlights that there will be an increased density in existing suburbs together with growth in northwest and southwest. Public Transport Government Department will support this growth by making travel to Sydney CBD more efficient and effective by connecting customers to centres across metropolitan Sydney. By 2031, three-tier network, Rapid 7 and Local will operate, with each level delivering a defined level of service, consistency and reliability. Rapid service roads form the backbone of new bus network, offering fast, reliable bus travel for customers between major centres. Urban service roads and local service roads build on this foundation to improve access to local and neighbourhood destinations. Across metropolitan Sydney, 13 rapid bus roads will operate and 27 roads have also been confirmed, with more to be added. With these changes, over 1.5 million Sydney-siders will live within a 10-minute walk of a rapid or suburban bus service, meaning access to a turn-up and go service 7 days a week. And also by 2037, the CBD and South East Light Rail combined with the redesigned City Central buses will mean that 220 fewer buses traveling into the city central in the morning peak business hour, relieving surface congestion.
Sydney Ferries, forgotten about. Currently operating only 9 routes, 39 wharves and 28 vessels, Sydney's ferry system found that only approximately 15 million passenger trips are made each year around the harbour and Parramatta River. Potential for 2037 sees the government planning to replace all old ferries with state-of-the-art, more efficient and more enjoyable cosy boats, and also investing into new wharves and more boats to increase flexibility and convenience for customers. With majority of commuters travelling to work in Sydney via bus, train or owned vehicle, the improvement of Sydney's ferries network could see future congestion significantly diminished, with the upgraded system also seeing an influx in Sydney's tourism sector. In a recent survey, Sydney commuters noted that the main criteria that would encourage them to use ferries is timing and efficiency, comfort and travel time. By swapping to a more efficient boating system, ferries would have the ability to not only reduce their travel time between stops, but also run more frequently and be more reliable. As an encouragement to use ferries as a substitute route to work, future ferries will have a variety of weighty benefits, including the inclusion of space for mobile passengers and young families, their ability to carry up to 400 passengers, bicycle and luggage storage areas, Wi-Fi access and journey history and information. All in all, the future strategy of Sydney's ferries is looking bright and intends to play a major role in advancing Sydney's transport network, endeavouring to deliver quality, consistent services and new and improved infrastructure that will encourage the use of this unique transportation method.
Sydney's current transport system is currently behind everyone else. If we were to see the new changes in 2037, we will be looking at the changes to match everyone else. Recapping to our first scenario, Fast Track to the Future. This scenario was looking at how Sydney transport will be affected if there was high spending and high technology. The vision for 2037, Sydney will start to adopt advanced technology by spending large amounts for better projects. For example, bullet trains. Looking at To Infinity and Beyond, this scenario we are looking at higher technology and low spending, where the government is only investing small parts of the projects that require attention and upgrades and do not take time and space. For example, our current light rail system. Looking at traffic jam, this is looking at high spending and low technology. This scenario is focusing more on the issues we are currently facing. By 2037, the government will only enforce change if it is necessary. For example, expansion of shared roads with buses, cars and light rails that require a large sum of investment. Last of all, row your boat that looks at low technology and low spending. We can relate this to Sydney ferries, where they do not need much investment. Only changes are an expansion of ferry lines, boat and wharf upgrades. The only downside for trains or buses, there will be an increase in congestion since the government is not implementing changes into the system quickly to keep up with the rest of the world. And that is it for our future of public transport in 2037.